Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This channel is all about understanding narcissism, healing from it, and empowering ourselves to live happier lives. In today's video, we're diving deep into a topic that many of you have requested: 5 spiritual signs that a narcissist's downfall is coming. Now, if you've ever dealt with a narcissist, you know how exhausting it can be. But there's good news: narcissists don't always win. In fact, there are spiritual signs that indicate their downfall is coming. These signs might not be visible to everyone, but if you're tuned in to the energy around you, you might start to notice these shifts. So let's jump right into it. Number 1. The energy around them starts to shift. The first sign is that the energy around them starts to shift. Narcissists thrive on attention and admiration. They need to feed off the energy of others to maintain their inflated sense of self. But when their downfall is approaching, something changes. You might notice that the people around them are no longer as interested in feeding their ego. At first, it might be subtle: a little less attention, a few less compliments, but over time it becomes more obvious. You might notice that the narcissist's energy starts to feel heavy or draining. Their charm fades, and they're no longer able to pull people into their orbit. Example, for instance, let's say you have a narcissistic boss who's always been the center of attention. But one day you start to see that people are avoiding him. His usual charisma doesn't work like it used to. Suddenly, people are no longer impressed by his self-promotion, and his influence starts to crumble. That's a spiritual sign that his downfall is near. Number 2. Their lies and manipulations begin to fall apart. The second sign is when their lies and manipulations begin to unravel. Narcissists often live in a world of deception. They lie to maintain their perfect image, to manipulate situations in their favor, and to control those around them. But here's the thing: lies have a shelf life. They can only hold up for so long before the truth starts to come out. When a narcissist's downfall is approaching, you'll notice cracks in their carefully constructed reality. Their lies start to fall apart. Their stories don't add up, and their manipulative tactics no longer work as effectively. The truth starts to emerge, and the narcissist can't control the narrative anymore. Example: think about someone in your life who constantly lied to get ahead or to seem more successful than they actually were. Perhaps they fabricated their achievements or manipulated others to gain favor. As their downfall approaches, you might see how their lies are slowly exposed. People who once believed their stories begin to question them, and the narcissist's reputation begins to crumble. Number 3. They begin to experience extreme isolation. The third sign is extreme isolation. Narcissists often surround themselves with people who boost their ego, but when their downfall is imminent, they begin to lose these connections. People start distancing themselves from the narcissist, realizing that they've been manipulated or used. As this happens, the narcissist becomes more and more isolated. This isolation isn't just physical, it's spiritual as well. The people who once admired them no longer want to be around them. They might be abandoned by friends, family, or colleagues, and they're left to face the consequences of their actions alone. This is a spiritual sign that the universe is beginning to remove the toxic people from their life, and they're left to reckon with their own emptiness. Example: maybe you've seen someone in your life who was once very popular, always surrounded by a group of friends or admirers. But slowly, one by one, those people start to pull away. Maybe it's because they've finally realized the narcissist's true nature. As their circle shrinks, the narcissist finds themselves alone, and that isolation is a sign that their downfall is on the horizon. Number 4. They start to lose their control over others. The fourth sign is that they start to lose their control over others. Narcissists are masters of manipulation, and they thrive on controlling the people around them. But as their downfall nears, they begin to lose their grip. The people they once controlled start to wake up and break free from their influence. When a narcissist is losing control, they will often become more desperate, trying even harder to manipulate others or retain power. But this desperation only accelerates their downfall. Example: perhaps there's a narcissistic partner who always tried to control your decisions, your friends, or your time. But as their downfall begins, you start to make your own choices without fear or guilt. Maybe others around them start standing up to their toxic behavior too. This loss of control is a key spiritual sign that they are no longer able to manipulate the world around them the way they once did. Number 5. They experience a spiritual awakening or breakdown. The final sign is that they experience a spiritual awakening or a breakdown. Now this one might sound surprising, but hear me out. When a narcissist's downfall is approaching, they can experience a sudden shift in their consciousness. This could be a spiritual awakening, or it could be a breakdown of their entire belief system. They might suddenly realize the emptiness of their existence, the harm they've caused to others, and the deep loneliness they've been running from for years. For some narcissists, this leads to a genuine change. Perhaps they start seeking therapy, trying to heal or attempting to make amends. But for others, it's simply a breakdown of their false persona, and they crumble under the weight of their own facade. Example: imagine someone who has spent their entire life focused on power and control, only to have a major life event cause them to question everything. They might experience a breakdown, emotional, spiritual, or psychological, where they realize how shallow their existence has been. For some, this breakdown could lead to a transformative awakening. For others, it could simply lead to a deeper fall. Either way, it's a clear sign that their downfall is coming. Conclusion. So there you have it, 5 spiritual signs that a narcissist's downfall is coming. If you've been dealing with a narcissist in your life, it's important to remember that their control is not forever. These signs show that the universe has a way of balancing the scales. Whether it's through a loss of energy, unraveling lies, or a sudden spiritual shift, the narcissist will eventually face the consequences of their actions. And remember, if you've been affected by a narcissist, your healing journey is just as important. Their downfall doesn't mean you stop healing. Instead, it's a reminder that you're moving in the right direction, away from their toxic influence. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, share with anyone who might need to hear this, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, take care of yourselves. You deserve peace and healing.